Groups determined for next FIFA World Cup summer in Russia, with 6 months to wait, or rather to plan for their opponents. Egypt, Morocco, Nigeria, Senegal and Tunisia will be representing the continent at the global showpiece. But first, Bidvest Wits were crowned the 2017 Telkom Knockout champions after defeating Bloemfontein Celtic 1-0 at the Princess Magog Stadium in Kwamashu on Saturday. And to help us break down that match, we joined as always by our sports analyst Sipho. A very good afternoon to you, Baba, and welcome.
Afternoon to you too.
Now, Gavin Hunt finally has laid his hands on that elusive silverware. What's your take on the match?
Yeah, well, I'm happy for Gavin Hunt, but the match itself, it wasn't such a pretty sight that you would expect for a final. But I think we also have to look at the quality of the teams that made it to the final. Had anyone predicted that it would be Celtic and Bidvest Wits in the final, we wouldn't have agreed with that sort of prediction. So it was quite a surprise that the two teams reached the finals, and the quality of the match, like I say, wasn't that impressive, but it wasn't anything surprising. I think it was what was expected, and also look at where they took the match. It was played at Princess Magog, so the expectations was that it was going to be an average match. Both teams started very cautiously. They were very defensive, especially Wits. They set back, hoping that Celtic would come at them and catch them on the counter attack, which to a very large extent, I would say it kind of worked for Gavin Hunt. It did show that he had a better pedigree as opposed to his opponent on the other bench, Veselin Jelisik. Eventually, they managed to get that goal at the death. And it was a well-deserved victory for Wits.
Yeah, and it took a moment of brilliance from Vincent Pule to snatch the game, scoring with an exquisite back heel in the 90th minute. Yeah,
look, there's something that is actually happening on that one. If you look at the fact that it was 0-0 until right at the end. It was a match that I thought at some point was going to be decided on penalty shootout. You look at Celtic. Celtic were in the finals, but they, I think, two of their matches, if not all of them, I think they won those matches on the penalty shootouts. So generally, the goal scoring crisis seems to be growing. You look at Wits, the defending champions of the PSL. They sit in bottom of the log, and they've only scored 9 goals up to so far in the season. So this goal scoring problem seems to be deepening, and there are no interventions being put in place to kind of keep that problem from going forward. So that it shouldn't surprise us now when such a very big final is decided on a goal like that. And as much as it was a very beautiful goal by Vincent Pule, I still think it was sort of a lucky goal as well. At the same time.
Goal indeed. All right, let's take a look at other sports news now. You wouldn't bet against any side containing Mohamed Salah at the moment, making the Pharaohs a potential spoiler. Egypt are capable of a result that ruins Uruguay's plans in Group A, that also includes the likes of Russia and Saudi Arabia, isn't it?
Yes, I agree with you. Look, Egypt at the moment, they are not the force that they used to be. I would have bet more money on Egypt a couple of years ago. Going into the World Cup. Unfortunately, at the time, they were not able to qualify for the World Cup. They're in the World Cup. They are not a force that they used to be, but yes, they still have that capacity to actually perhaps go to the second round. It's going to be a very difficult one, looking at the opposition that they've been drawn into that group with the likes of Uruguay and Russia. Russia playing at home will just give it their all. They have the territorial advantage, the support and everything. It's going to be a very difficult group for Egypt.
Yeah, one match to see that. And the Lions of Teranga on the global stage already by securing a first World Cup place since 2002. And they found themselves in Group H alongside Poland, Colombia and Japan. What do you think of that?
Look, I think in Africa at the moment, perhaps the best team that we have should be Senegal. They, as you say, they are drawn with Colombia and Japan and Poland. So if in fact there's any African team that is best placed to get to the second round, I would put my money on Senegal. I think their group is actually possible to deal with for them. They should be able to deal with your likes of Japan and Poland. Yeah.
How about Morocco then? I mean, they will take on Iran in their first match, while European giants Portugal and Spain are set to meet in Group B.
Yeah, look, Morocco's first game against Iran, that is going to be very key for them. That is almost the only match in that group that they are most likely to get the 3 points from. After that, they will be playing against Spain and Portugal. I do not see how they can manage to beat Spain and Portugal in the World Cup. So it is going to be very, very important for them to make sure that they get the 3 points in that opening match against Iran, and going into the second match against Spain or Portugal, they make sure that perhaps they are able to get a point at best.
Now, Tunisia were drawn in Group G, and they face England, of course, in their opening encounter with Belgium and Panama completing the group.
Yeah, Tunisia as well. I think looking at that group, that is another African team that is that may actually give us more life in the tournament. They could qualify for the second round, looking at the fact that the only serious, in fact, Belgium are still a force to be reckoned with as well, but they do stand a chance actually to get a draw, or a win perhaps against England if possible, and a draw against Belgium.
All right. Yeah. Sipho, it's always great chatting to you. Thank you so much for your analysis. That is a sports analyst, Sipho Kekana, just helping us break down the matches that have been playing the past weekend and matches still to come. Australia are in control of the second Ashes test against England after scoring 442 runs, the highest inning score in a day-night